So let's take a quick look at the first game. We saw that Nakamura versus playing black he played exactly the same system, but he improved with bishop a6 instead of bishop b7 queen c8, which wasted important tempo. So black was probably very okay here until the very end. I mean, this endgame was just draw, basically. And then what happened is that when people got real long time, Nakamura, instead of playing normal b5 move, which would just make a draw right away, he decided to play some weird chess, allows white to take on b6, and now that pawn on f6 is hanging, and white broke through basically here. So that was the Nakamura's mistake. In the third round Dingler endgame, we saw another exciting novelty by Ding here. He sacrifices the pawn in pretty well-known position. This is ready. It becomes very quickly a sort of Catalan. Now we have crazy complications in which Firouzja is basically forced to give up his queen. He gives up further another piece, minor piece, so he can get these dangerous central pawns, but of course this is absolutely losing for him. And it boggles my mind that Ding didn't play rook h3 here. Hi, I was taking a break. I was pretty tired. I was playing last night Bullet until 3 a.m. and I'm practically playing some event or streaming every day, so I was a bit tired. But I'm doing a quick recap of the second half that I missed. So again, this was a pretty crazy game. Ding had a huge advantage, but he decided to make this a draw. Probably just wanted to make a draw, I think. So that's the game number 3. Let's go to round number 4. And here we see Firouzja actually tried to get a stand, to make a stand, because he is 1 point behind, he needs a win. Ding plays very solid Berlin Spanish, and of course it's d3, bishop c5, declined. So we're seeing this line here, but the structure is actually very good for black, because despite the fact that black has double pawns, once black plays f5 and forces white to do something about this e-pawn, black will just simply block the light squares like d5 and e6, and he will get an advantage because he's got a very strong light squared bishop and bishop pair. So f5, bishop e7, as we can see, the computer already sees this evaluation as slightly better for black. Alright guys, I'm not addicted. All scripted. Okay, Gary can say whatever he wants. I believe that there was real games played. Magnus was very awkward. He lost 2 games to Hikaru. He played some very strange moves. So in this endgame, black is just much better, and white is forced to play for a win. So Ding was just basically trading pieces down. He wasn't even playing for a win here. I mean, he can basically play rook f5, get that rook away from the potential pin a3, f8, and then there is a threat of taking on c5, taking on f3. So Ding had an advantage here, but he decided just to trade down. I'm pretty sure he felt that this was a draw, and this is why he went for this line. And this is basically very drawish, especially at the high level. 2 versus 3. Pawns, a pair of rooks now, but nothing special, right? And he just gave back this pawn. So this game eliminated Firouzja, but Nakamura actually managed to equalize the match, and again it featured Scheveningen, Sicilian. It was pretty impressive that Magnus plays Scheveningen, and I think that basically in these positions it's good to, it's a very good position to have if you're playing for a win, especially with white. All your pieces are developed. Black sort of have hanging pawns. This bishop on b3 is very important. But now Magnus bishop a6 surprised me as heck. I thought he was going to play bishop e6 here just to trade this white squared bishop. He was probably afraid of some knight e2, knight d4, knight f5. Maybe slightly unpleasant for black, but I think that black can defend. But bishop a6, after bishop e5, of course he had to take with the rook. And then after rook f3 is still iffy. White's on bishop on b3 is just a monster. So instead we go for this line. Now we see that rook f8 is the checkmate, right? So queen on g3 is taboo. So black probably should have taken on f1 here and went for this line. But for some reason he plays this move, which I don't understand. and this is just a technical win because white is an exchange and a pawn up. So I would say that Magnus was in a really bad tactical shape, which continued since his loss to Firouzja match, where he blundered a lot of stuff and he resigned this game. And that comes to the clutch Armageddon game, which also featured Scheveningen. But this time Nakamura did not play f4, queen f3, which is considered to be pretty good. And he decided to go for the main line, but the main line, of course, I mean, if you ask any top grandmaster, like when was the last time they analyzed Scheveningen system, especially here, I would say that probably none of them. Because so playing just like that without preparation, even if you have 15 minutes at start, it's not enough. And we can see here that after e5, black already destroys white's pawn structure on the king side. He gets the e5 square and he gets superior positions just like that. And rook c8, so h4. Although, I have to admit that Magnus gave Hikaru some chances. He played knight g6, okay. And this was very strange. I thought he was going to take on h4 right away. Because right now white can just take with the queen and play h5, and then white has powerful bishops, black has some weaknesses, knight on c4 is removed. That means, white has a lot of opportunities to play this position further. So I'm very surprised about this pawn take, because knight h4, probably missing just simple tactics. He missed that after this, black has knight f5, knight e3 check, so he is forced to give up the exchange, and the queen cannot protect the king because bishop on c4 is under attack. So king here, check, and basically it's a draw. So Hikaru tries to go with the king to the queen side, but of course he runs into rook e4 and he resigns immediately. So that was pretty badass games, I think. He was disturbed by arbiter in the middle of the Armageddon game. Yeah, that is like really. Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, the arbiter should really only interfere in extreme situations, right? Especially knowing that the match are like super important. These are top players; they know the chess rules, right? So I have no idea what would have prompted the arbiter, if true, to disturb Hikaru. And of course, once you disturb, it's very. The top players, they need the concentration. They need the concentration to, watch out for tactics, to keep that line of thought. In the short games, it's absolutely critical. For me, it's just mind-boggling that somebody can disturb you during the game and get away with it. I mean, if there was such a situation, they should have definitely given stop the game. If that situation happened, they should have stopped the game right there, at least like for half an hour. Okay. And then they should have continued. But that's my opinion. Arbiter's clock was messed up and he thought it was same play, so he asked Naka to abort. Right, that was really bad timing. Really bad timing. I'm not sure if they should replay the match game because of that. I mean, from Magnus' point of view, he should. He should actually stop the game. If he knew this was happening, he should stop the game and he should speak to the arbiter and I mean, if he found later, like when the position was already winning, it doesn't matter, right? But if the position like was around here, move for example knight g6, the position is very unclear, right? Anything goes. I mean, white is probably worse, but there's still fighting left. So if this happened around here, then the game should be stopped and given time. But if they didn't stop, if Magnus only found out about later, I think he should just probably replay, and they should replay the not just the Armageddon, but they should play maybe another 2 game and then Armageddon. Okay. Right. Naka was offered a rematch. He refused. He refused the rematch. He was offered the rematch and then he refused. So, right. Then there is no discussion, right? If he was offered the rematch and you refuse, then it's your choice. Okay, so that was the recap of the second half. So now we are going back to my favorite tournament. And I'm gonna play some bullets today. So, see, I didn't play like for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, yeah. And I'm back like number 600. All right. So, I'm pretty sure Naka is now streaming on his, I got notification, he's streaming on chess.com, he's talking about the tournament, so you guys, if you're really interested, are really curious, just ask him, you know, ask him on his channel and see what he says. Because I can only just guess as to what's going on. And guessing is not, it's not productive. Alright, so let's just play normal chess. Lots of works to do. There's always a lot of work to be done, dude. Always. Never stops. Okay, so I cannot castle. Oh, I forgot this is a bullet, yeah. Alright, so let's do 95. It's like sort of small trick. He cannot capture because CD, and then I trap the bishop. So it's like small trick. Oh, he did fall for it. Oh my god. Dude, you just gave me a piece. Alright, I'll take the piece. Ah, queen b5. My god. I should have just taken this knight on b4. Ouch. That was ouch. Oh, now I take this knight, of course. Now I get the bishop as well. Naka's making a Magnus Pinata. Explain quickly what happened. So according to some people, what happened was that the arbiter in the middle of the game spoke to Hikaru and asked him about the clock, why it was not working. And that basically just ruined the whole... to me, that just ruined the whole prestige of the tournament, basically. Because if an arbiter makes such a basic mistake, it no longer becomes like a huge invitational thing, professional thing. Maybe I'm too hard on the arbiter, but again, if you're unsure, talk to the organizers who set the whole thing up, right? Don't talk to the players. And then I was told that Hikaru was given an option to play a rematch, and he refused. So I would say that it's no longer in our jurisdiction, right? He made a choice, conscious choice, to not continue the match. I mean, he already won 2 historic games against Magnus. I mean, I don't think he ever beat Magnus before. Not sure. Как дела? Андрей, привет. Нормально. Как у тебя? Ты тогда пришел, я сразу смылся, потому что я уже был уставший. Мне уже не было сил. Я поэтому ушел. Right. So, it's a complicated situation. Nothing in life is very easy. But that's what makes it fun, right? I mean, that's why it is fun, guys. It is important to remember that there is such thing as fun in life. Tough decisions, thankfully, we don't have to make. Yeah? Yeah. Still, of course, it leaves a certain taint. Yeah, it leaves a certain taint. And I mean, the idea was great. I loved absolutely the format, right? I was very curious about Magnus not playing the best moves. It seemed like he was consciously choosing not the best moves. You know what I'm saying? And he was just playing some attractive moves to make this tournament attractive to the viewers, I guess, if I can put it this way. And I felt that that was kind of strange a little bit. Okay, so he wants to play knight e6 or bishop e6. What is going on? I don't know. What is this? What is this going on? Rook e8, yeah. Let's play rook e8. Well, it's not about the money. He doesn't need money, guys. You realize he is a world champion. He makes more money in a couple of months than we do in a year, in a couple of years, in 10 years. Okay, he doesn't need money. Okay, knight d5. I need to break apart this chain here. Take. So I'm threatening bishop f6 sort of, and here I just walk away with my queen. Because that bishop on h4 sometimes is in danger of losing. Like if I get h6 g5 in, if you say so. I don't know rich people well. If you say so, dude. Haven't met a lot of rich people. So knight d4, I can probably just go back here, but then knight c4, I don't like that. Okay, so let's bring the rook back. Like he brings the bishop here, I don't like that. Can I play bishop e5? That's okay. Low on time, and my position is not great either. Okay, let's play something solid here. Let us play something solid here. Again, a lot of discussions, right? So it's not bad. Chess wins in any case. Knight c4, knight f7, bringing that wayward knight. But white's bishop on g3 is now very strong, of course. Very, very strong bishop. Knight f6. I'm playing really badly in this part of the game. Really badly. So knight h5. I need to get this bishop. This bishop seriously annoys me, but that knight on h5 is on the rim. He is even worse. Right, so let's grab this bishop. Knight f7. And someone can explain quickly what happened. Alright, somebody do it, because I'm done explaining. And the best explanation you can possibly get if you ask Nakamura directly. Right, he's got his own Twitch after all. Come on, guys. Don't be lazy. Grab. Okay, extra pawn. Nice position. I like my position. Make sure don't blunder 96 at some points. Thank you for the knights. So we win. Gata summed it pretty well. Okay. Well, if you guys want to play me, I'm up for it. I mean, I don't really have to play in this tournament. So if you want to play me, feel free to challenge me. I'm just playing this event because I'm trying to get to play some GM so you can guys watch some big battle or something. Yeah, that was, I think that was like his career high achievement, yeah. I never seen him beat Magnus before. I think Magnus was heck of a surprised as well. But we all could be wrong. So let's play rook b1. I'm not sure where to put my bishop first, so I waited, for him to exchange my bad knight on e2, and now I can develop. Finally, I can develop. And I'm not gonna give you this bishop. I like my bishops, dude. Let's play b4. Open that queen side a little bit. b5. This is standard English. Trying to poke some weaknesses, make force black or offer black to play some c5 moves, which are sort of second-rate moves. And infiltrate, and now black is worse because he's got a ton of weaknesses. Okay, so the best person to ask is Nakamura about what happened, so ask Naka. All right. So the question, what I'm gonna do with my queen? Queen a4 looks okay, but it kind of moves my queen away from that important diagonal. Bishop b4 looks interesting, sort of tying up that knight on f5 to the defense of the pawn. And if he plays c5, then he really opens up my bishop. So I like bishop b4. Now that the bishop is open, let's play bishop back to d2. And the knight can go to d5 now at some point. Or we can try to be more active and actually go for the exchange here. think that'll be cool. Check. 94. Looks pretty damn good, I think. And if knight d4, I can play actually bishop g5 here, because knight f3, queen f3, right? There's a pin. Can you play Ancient Mysteries again? Oh yeah, I see a lot of challenges. All right, so let me play you guys, right? I mean, this bullet arena. I made 2700s. I'm pretty happy with my bullet rating. You know, so I'm all for it to play you guys. Really don't want to give up my bishop. That is such a nice bishop. Why would I want to give this bishop? Let's not give up this bishop, okay? Let's be nice to my bishops. f4. Okay, why not? Rook a8 sometimes I can play, yeah. Although not taking material sometimes is dangerous, because I might miss something. I might miss some tactics. Too little space for black's pieces. As regular chess, Fischer random? No, I disagree. It all depends on the player. It's just most of the top players are very solid players, so they like to, you know, minimize the chance of losing. But there are a lot of romantic players that just doesn't matter what you play, what kind of chess you play, they just sort of go for it. Rook a8, hello, pin. Oh, okay, take. Take. Queen f1, yeah. So there's still a lot of romantics left in chess. G4. So I'm gonna play you guys next. Check. J Priest. That was a movie called Priest, yeah? That's a pretty cool movie. Unfortunately, they didn't make any sequels, but I like the movie. It was like oddball, some sort of fantasy vampires, whatever. It was badass. It's a good time for one of your legendary chess stories. You're trying to milk me for my stories. There are no stories. I mean, they come and go, just my mind pleases. It's not like I can concentrate and just give birth to my one famous legendary story. It doesn't work like that. But Andrei seems to forgot to take on g3. And he had 2 minutes and 41 seconds and... My god. Dude. No automatic moves. Remember what I preach, you guys. No automatic moves. 3 top mistakes. No automatic moves playing. Not looking for your opponent's idea. And what was the third mistake I mentioned? I forgot. It was like common mistake too. I guess just pretty common. Just develop your pieces before attacking or committing to attack. So pretty basic. Has King's Gambit been refuted? Well, if you come up with a refutation, well, allegedly Bobby refuted back then, right? And Bobby refuted it. He created that system against King's Gambit specifically. So Queen c7. I play Carlsen system with the tempo, maybe cup. Maybe actually I have many tempos up. How to calculate properly and feel weak as LO player. How to calculate properly. A lot of great books on teaching how to calculate. A lot of books. I don't want to play this d6, but okay, I probably have to. And what usually black does is he plays 95 some point here, just completely blocks this bishop. And he agrees to the doubling of the pawns in exchange for these pawns will be taking huge control of the central squares. Soltis has a really good book on calculation. Yeah, I don't know about that book, but I would say that Alexander Kodov was a very famous Russian grandmaster who went from first category player to grandmaster in 1 year. And he mastered the art of calculation. And his method consisted of finding the necessary candidate moves. Candidate moves make or break you. if you can't find the only, sometimes there's only one candidate move and you have to find it. So that is why calculation is really important. And then he went and wrote a book about how to refute it. Well, it worked, didn't it? Yeah, I mean, so Fischer lose some game against the King's Gambit. Fischer. So you guys want to talk about Fischer, I guess, yeah? The great American champion ever. The greatest. Possibly the craziest. But he was undoubtedly the greatest champion. Welcome to the channel, guys. I took a quick break from the tournament because I need to get some rest. I feel a little bit better, but I still, you know, still recovering. I just felt that I'll play some games, you know, talk to you guys, sort of have a nice, cozy atmosphere, discuss the tournament, discuss some games, talk about your pressing chess questions. So, what is your most pressing chess question? Feel free to share. I'm not gonna shame you. Welcome again. Welcome everyone. Just take this, I guess. Why not? Because that white king on c1 is going to be suffering. Grab, basically extra piece and stuff. All right. This emoticon, what does this mean? I don't quite see it. What is this? This looks like Yoda. Sort of Yoda, but I'm not sure. Go nice. GG. GG, dude. Ancient Mysteries. Where is he? Ah, there he is. Oh, Andre already managed to... Andre, you're back in queue. That was quick. Quick work, bro. I'm learning to play IQP. Positions with my coach, but don't quite grasp the difference of the opposition pawn on c3 versus e3. Huh? c3 opposition pawn versus e3. Oh, okay. You're talking from the black side, because whenever you speak IQP, I mean usually white plays IQP, not black. But okay, if you're talking on the black side, the position with c6, somebody gives me a bishop. I'm gladly will taking it. So here talking about those positions, they are in fact different. It is in fact better, most of the cases, it is better to have the E pawn left against the isolated pawn because it provides more protection. It provides more protection, as if you have C pawn, then hold on a second, H3. Whoa, what is this? Okay. Let's play bishop e3. So the positions with the e pawn, they are very tricky. However, they sort of similar to the stuff where you get these positions from the Petrov, from the French defense. Okay, so those are the kind of positions that are pretty standard, and it's been well known that these positions are in fact the strongest probably for the side which has IQP. Oh, I'm long time. My God, I'm long time. I was talking to you guys and then completely forgot about my time. Bad me. All right. Okay, you want to draw? Fine. I was just talking too much. Beta 0. Good job, man. I forgot about the time. Do you play video games? Yes, I do. I've been a gamer like my entire life, which was a good and a bad thing at the same time. So, so no complaints there. Okay, so we're playing Dutch against Webb. It's best time control opinion for players that want to improve. You need classical time control for sure. Because once you master your style, once you understand what you're best at, then you can start playing rapids. Unless, that being said, I have to say that whenever you play stronger opponents, it is such a great practice that you can even learn from your rapids, blitz games, if you play stronger opponents. As long as you learn, that's all that matters, okay? So it's not really about the time control, it's more about who you play. Okay, let's get rid of this bishop. This bishop is starting to get really annoying. And I'm sort of trying to get the control of the dark squares here. And in this case, let's just play e5, e4, and let's close Webb's bishop on g6 by playing f5. We're gonna dominate this bishop. Dude, we're gonna dominate your bishop, man. How do you feel about that? f5. What would you say do you regret the most in your life? This is not the interview. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. You sneaky you. Okay. Seriously, guys, come on. I mean, would you like to know my latest novelties too? Why not ask, right? Who knows? Maybe I will tell you. Yeah. I mean, man. I'm just kidding, man. But you know, like chess novelties are the grandmaster's best kept trade secrets, right? So they guard those with their lives. Yeah. Well, I should do just lectures. Besides, I stopped working on the openings like a few years now. Basically, I stopped working on chess, just playing based on my understanding. And I only analyze and work on chess whenever I play in important team matches like Bundesliga. So that's the only time I actually study some chess. However, that being said, now that I'm starting to do some lectures in video, YouTube series, I kind of feel like, you know, I gotta open some books and recheck some stuff there. Can we get 760p resolution? Well, Alpha 01 is so deadly because it is set at its best when it's set at its best everything, right? What is it called? Specs? Sure. But if you set an absolute beast of a spec for Stockfish, it's gonna kill you too. I mean, at the top GM level, it doesn't matter. The only difference between the engines is they can offer different candidate moves, different ideas, sequences for the openings. So that's what the GMs are actually looking for. They're not looking like which program is playing stronger, because they don't care. All they care about is the whether this program can offer them something really useful. So that's all they care about. Let's play bishop a6. I need to take the c8 square away. So we get our favorite endgame. We got our favorite endgame. This endgame is supposed to be slightly better for white, because there's always this because, right? You need to, I feel like I need to justify my previous statement, and I'm not sure how I can justify it. Most likely not. Most likely not. Most likely the top players are not prepared against weird openings. However, chances are that even if they're not prepared, they're gonna still kick your ass, because they're gonna play something solid and then outplay you later in the game. Right? That's the trick that most GMs use, because they know their chess understanding is superior, and that's how they roll. So what we need to do here is I need to start playing f4 and start going for this minority attack with f5. But it will not be easy. Black certainly doesn't make it easy. Then, of course, I take it with the bishop. And now I play f5. Of course, because if black allows me to take on e6, that knight on e5. Bread and butter. Bread and butter knight on e5. Okay, should I play a5 here? It's very tempting, but let's bring the knight first to the table. Let's bring the knight here first. Okay, he's playing smart. He is actually he is playing smart chess. I like this guy. All right, so grab, and now we have to play a5 because we need to activate the rook and also get rid of our weakness there. So that was necessary. And the question is, are these pawns weakness or they are the strength? I would say that it depends on the perspective. 95 looks good. Does it? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Because I just take on c4. And if he doesn't, then there is always check, rook a6, and creating some funny business there. So king e3, f6 maybe, yeah? Okay, king g3, let's protect the pawn. Let's not give him anything, let's protect stuff. So check. Is this check necessary? Can I play king f4 maybe, improve my king? Sort of like d5 check is coming, right? So I don't know, it looks kind of interesting. F6, then I probably... But if I give you check, then you play rook b6, I see. So, knight g6 then? Or knight c6? Oh, alright, let's play knight c6, let's just go for the pawns. Let's just go for the pawns. There's like pawn on g7. I really don't want to give him this pawn on c3 though. I feel like black doesn't deserve getting this pawn. Knight b4, bring the knight, cut off the rook, check, check, and what does he want? Just push the pawn. This pawn is going to be a really badass pawn at some point. Because d6, d7 is like rolling really quickly, yeah? And his rook is like completely way off. Check. And it's made in two, so... See, the endgame is your real weakness, dude. You need to work on your endgames. Yeah, this is my channel. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to challenge me on LiChess. Feel ask two questions. Do GMs use different engine? No, they use different engines. There are like so many different engines now, of course. And so, I mean, I stick to the Stockfish because I like it. It sort of has similar intuitive positional feeling, but also because it still kicks ass. I mean, in the recent World Championship, I think it kicked that Lilu's computer butt like real nice. And, you know, good old Stockfish, World Champion many times over. Cool. Can you play Ancient Mysteries? I am playing. Why is he not... who am I playing right now? I'm playing actually Ancient Mysteries right now, so... That's not who I'm playing. Okay. Yeah, I know. I promised to play this guy, so I'm playing this guy. So this structure I played when I was a kid. This you learn from Kasparov-Karpov games, right? So the trick here is you need to put your bishop somewhere in c6. Because that bishop is like really bad. So bishop on c6, he prevents e4 breaks. And then you can start playing for that e4 square. You have to play a5 here, absolutely, to block all this nonsense here. And knight c8 goes to d6. And I reroute the knight, and that's how I used to play when I was a kid. 20 years happened since then. I haven't played this position like in decades. So I don't know what the current theory is. But I kind of like the setup. In the recent match, but you see it was close. 106 to 94 is like, come on, with such hype as Lila has, it should beat Stockfish like, I don't know, 100 to 50. But it can't, because Stockfish is damn good. So I like Stockfish, but But some grandmasters, they like Houdini, for example, or Komodo, right? Like different tastes, different whatever. So, trying to bring in the rooks, getting away from that pin. I probably should play bishop f8 at some point and then get ready for all that mess coming. So let's protect this knight before I play knight e4 or something like that. And now I'm sort of ready to play bishop e8, knight c6 and close this with the real dude. So let's play bishop e8 and knight c6, I guess. Although why am I doing this? I have no idea why am I doing this. Okay, let's play knight f5 since I get the square. Yes, and white gets this square as well. So I would say the position about pretty equal. He's got nice knight on e5, but he's got no points of entry here. I don't really want to play b6 because I don't want to fall for that e4 cheapo. So maybe queen a7 followed by rook c8 and then queen b8 back. Of course, I could have played probably b5 instead, but I kind of like to put my pieces in the classical way because I'm just a classical guy. Bishop f1, okay. Rook c7, double the rooks. Knight g4, knight is going to f6, I guess. I really don't want to play bishop. Alright, okay, you can get my bishop, I guess. I'm curious, what will that do? So we both playing solid chess. Let's see if I can play rook c6 here and try to go for queen c7. Of course, knight takes, not bishop. And you grab this thing. Yep, you definitely grab that thing first. Grab this thing again. So I give him sort of the file, yeah? So that's the only problem with this exchange. And I probably should take with the bishop. So again, this is a damn equal position. Opposite colors, right? Queen b7. Preparing queen c8. Trade. And then just bishop goes. So knight on d6 is key in this position. See, he holds absolutely everything. e5. Can I play e5? Don't really like to force matters. Don't really like to force matters, but it looks very interesting. Maybe just queen c7. I don't know what white wants. Does he really want to play h5? Maybe. What about queen e8? Queen e8 also looks pretty good. But then if I play knight f5, then what happens? Because I take with an e pawn, I attack this pawn. Knight e5, queen takes b5 maybe. So he plays this move, I play bishop d6. And king g7. I think it's pretty damn equal. h6. Trying to create that h file for my queen. Sort of point of entry. It looks very equal. Queen b1, grab. Queen h8. Maybe not the best, but it looks decent. Check. Queen g3, queen h1. And then I sort of cannot capture it, yeah. I cannot capture this. Alright, queen h1. What about this endgame? This looks like completely dead draw, yeah? Completely dead draw. Can I play for a win? Probably not, so let's just grab it. And be very happy with the draw, because this is dead draw. White cannot break through, I cannot break through. We just two kings walking hand in hand, singing hallelujah. Right? Peace on earth. Peace. Okay. All right. FizzBo, the best chess engine. FizzBo. Never heard of the FizzBo. I heard about the Fire something. There was this Fire. I kind of like its style. It was like Shirov. Yeah. Because different engines, it all depends on the programming. And a lot of programmers like to make their engines based on some chess players, meaning they put weights on different aspects of the game, like mobility, structure, king safety, right? A lot of variables. And if you put different variables, if you put different weights, that gives you different, importance to that stuff. So that was pretty cool. So 74 people in the chat. It's only 5 challenges here. I assume you're all cool. And all right, cool. E5. White should not allow me to play e5 in this position because if you take this pawn, now this sort of becomes kind of dangerous structure, because if I get my pawns rolling to e4 and these two will be holding 3, that means black might be better at some point later in the future. I mean, not right away, but potentially. So white has to be real careful with the structure. I mean, often the computer says that this is okay for white, but it depends. I'll probably play bishop c4 instead, because that sort of is more, that bishop is more useful there. And I'm ready to play h6, bishop e6, f5. In this case, probably queen c7, because having the queens on board is better for black. Because if I control center, right, and I have queens on board, that gives me an opportunity to do more damage. Is knight c4 coming? I don't know, let's find out. f5. h6. Getting that sweet e6 square for my bishop. Knight c4. Okay. Why not? Rook d8, bishop b6, I guess. Okay, bishop e6, developing the bishop. I'm a little too drunk to play today. All right. Too tired from spring marathon. I got it. All right, that's okay. So let's not blunder stuff. Let's play king h7. I am blundering stuff, right? No, but wait, knight b6 is rook d8, so he has to play something like this. Let's kick this knight out. Bishop trade is good for black. And if I play e4, then knight d4. So let's centralize the knight. And we are sort of starting to be ready for the roll, guys. Rook d8, knight c. Okay, queen f7 first. The queen is ideally placed on f7 because it sort of protects the king. It's out of the way of the white pieces, and black prepares e4. A queen will be covering this e6 square. Okay. Cheers, guys. UK, Americans, Europeans, Russians. Hope you guys having great coming holidays, right? I hope so. Right. Okay, a4. Finally, we're getting some action here. So let's play e4, and we're gonna go for the combo. We're gonna go f4, and we're gonna try to go for an attack. I'm not sure if this is gonna work 100%, but why not, right? We only live once. Dangerously at that. So knight f3. Bring that pawn to f3. Probably h5, just to tickle this queen. We're gonna tickle this queen, and we're probably just gonna be cool. And although rook e5 looks nice, yeah, kicking that queen all the way to the back. Oh my god, this looks really good. However, I'm unable to take this pawn anymore, and he is trying to defend. I don't see how I can break through here, so let's play queen f5 and rook e8. sort of go for this rook e2 thing, but then who am I kidding? Bishop e5, queen g5. And if rook takes, then he can just take this pawn. So I cannot break through here, yeah? So I gotta play safe now. Wow, the attack didn't work. Wow, it was just way too solid. Way too solid, but he's playing too passively. You don't play passively, man, here. You can't play passive. You're gonna get killed. How? That's a good question. King h6. And g5 looks pretty strong to me. So sometimes you don't mate the king, but you mate the queen. Alright? That happens. Hi, Coffee. Hi, guys. Hello, Mr. Solid Dude. Dude, not Solid Man. Dude. There's a difference. Why I'm a dude? Because we party on. And we are trying to be excellent to each other in this channel. And there's the word that there's Bill and Ted movie number 4 in the works. How do you feel? I feel conflicted. At the same time, I feel excited. So I have no idea. Which movie I'm looking forward more. Bill and Ted 4 or John Wick 4? What are your thoughts, guys? I mean, John Wick is a badass, yeah? That's like what a macho should be, in a way. I mean, he found his own the style, right? It's completely different from the Rambo, completely different from the all the rest of the shooters. It reminds me slightly of that game, the Hitman, right? Slightly. It's not exactly the Hitman, though. What's your opinion about the Dutch defense? All right. Right. Let's talk about chess. Sorry, my bad. Let's talk about chess. The Dutch defense is a great opening. I think it's a great fighting opening. Yeah. So Dutch is cool. In my book, it's very cool. And so is trying to eliminate your opponent castling rate. So that's even cooler. And h4, that knight on g3 is going to be like this needle. And it's going to hurt exactly where it hurts the most. So the Dutch is good. If you want to play for a win, I scored a lot of wins for black in important tournaments against stronger position. So I consider the Dutch to be really solid and at the same time very fun to play. So recommend and represent the Dutch. So the only question, if he plays bishop 2, was I really ready to play knight e4 and give up that pawn? No clue. Classical Dutch? Oh, you mean the stone wall? I mean, Botvinnik played it, right? Botvinnik played it, Carlsen played it. Why it can't be that bad? It means you can play it too. You can play it. And now I can play knight e4, but I kind of want to put the knight on f5. It strikes my fancy. Because knight on f5 will be like unkillable, yeah? There is no g4. So I get the great French. In this case, you gotta win the tempo, you gotta play this. You don't just give your opponent free stuff. On chess or not? I don't want to interrupt you. My bad. Thank you for the question. No bad question. No bad questions. My bad. Sorry. So I'm sort of like recovering from all these marathons. You're recovering chess marathoner. That's me. Again, if you like positional openings, Queen's Gambit, probably not for you. I'm not sure why Hikaru is playing it. It's completely not suitable to his style. Completely unsuitable. He should be playing stuff like, I don't know. Nimzo, Queen's Indian. I feel that's more to his style. But then again, I could be completely wrong. Still, I think he would have benefited more from that. But if you like dynamic chess, then a lot of Azeris, they had huge success with playing Tarrasch defense. You know, going for that live piece activity, which is more important than the pawn structure. Yeah, but he beat Magnus twice with white, and he lost twice with the Queen's Gambit. And both times he lost, he was really suffering. He had these very, very passive positions. It was like cringe-worth positions. Like really, it was cringe-worth. But okay, it was this opening was considered to be very solid, right? That's why the elite players play it. But just doesn't. I don't think it suits everybody. It doesn't suit everybody. So Queen b4. Let the knight roll to c4. I think that's the ideal square for the knight here. So knight rolls to c4, and then we get all sorts of crazy things happening here. Right? This just looks absolutely terrible for white. There should be some tactics. Queen b3, rook a1 looks nice, but probably not enough. I don't know, rook a3. Threatening rook b3, queen b3, knight a3, which you just allowed me to play. I could have grabbed the knight on c3, of course, but there's mate on a3 coming, yeah. Scandinavian to avoid learning the hard e4 theory. Any tips on what to pick up first against e4? It depends on your preferable type of position. Yeah, the knight was hanging. Yeah, I know. Whoop! Ah, sorry, dude. Sorry. I was trying to play these guys. Sorry. Again, it depends on what you like. You like active play, play Sicilian. You like positional play, play Spanish. Simple as that. You like something unorthodox, play Pierce or play Philidor. You know, there's so many options these days. Any one of those openings is playable. Anyone. Alright, since you're playing, Andrew decided to mimic me and he wants to play a6. So I'm gonna play a4 against him and ask him, has he looked at this line? I bet he didn't. I can bet almost anything he didn't look at a4 line. I mean, why would he? I didn't play it, right? And now c5. And maybe b4. Wait, what am I doing? That's not the right way to play this position, is it? I don't know. I have forgotten myself how to play this position. d4 to get the middle game without getting bodied. Bodied? Is that like a gang expression? Kick this knight out. Well, the point is, if you give me 2 bishops, then I'm going to open the position. I'm going to be very comfy playing this type of position. So e3. The knight is heading to d4 at some point. Bishop d3, bishop b2, knight e2. And king will be perfectly safe on the queen side. Can you play the Reti or Hippo? I'll try, if you want me. Who is the greatest endgame player ever? Who is the greatest? That's such a loaded question. Who is the greatest ever? What do you want me to say? I can bet when you ask a question like that, you have someone in mind. I can bet anything that you already have somebody in mind. Rubinstein. Rubinstein was good. He was good. You had some classical rook end games which are considered to be must to learn for the beginners. He had those, yes. I'm just curious, what will happen if I play queen e5 here? I'm gonna go into the endgame with Webb. Andre, let's play some endgames, dude. Let's see. Capablanca, of course, no question about it. Capa was the dude. He was the dude. e4. Always get a chance to break that strong pawn chain and get your knight to d6 if you can. Always grab the opportunity whenever it presents itself. Now white is clearly better. And just king f2. Connect the rooks. Hook up the rooks to the right. Okay, you really want to play 96. Alright, let's tie up this thing here. Because you allow me to put my knight on d6 so nicely. I'll do it. I'll do it. Knight d6 check. King e3. Wait. Alright, king e3, why not? Now I can even centralize this king. Petrosian the Hood. Who? Maggie Carlsen. Who is Maggie Carlsen? I don't know. You guys are giving me these names, testing my attention. Yeah. All right. So somebody asked about the Dutch. Okay, first let me play this thing, right? Also, I have a good suggestion for you. Morozevich, when he was much younger, he used to play Chigorin against d4. You know what I mean? Chigorin. Bada boom. Bishop g6, I guess. Bishop g4, I mean. So he played it competitively and against strong players, and he was getting good results. So check it out. Maybe it's your thing. Maybe it's your thing. You know, if strong grandmaster can play it, so can you. I'm not sure about this bishop f3. a5 and bishop c5 looked pretty good too, but I just wanted to, you know, level up the field. White does get a pair of bishops, pretty strong pair of bishops, I must add. But then I close your bishop. The bishop doesn't belong on b2. He does not belong there. White probably should have played f4, g3, put that bishop on the long diagonal, then castle, and then bring that knight to d3 and bishop to d2. And then if you can do all that, then white is better. Obviously, black is not sitting. He's going to do something as well. But this game is like really complex, right? Morozevich played a beautiful King's Gambit against Anand many years ago and won. Morozevich did a lot of things. He had a lot of great games. What happens if I play queen e7? Where your king is going to go, mister? Can I ask this silly question? Oh my god, come on. Ooh, this is a classic. Alright. Yeah, definitely. And very dangerous and a top player at the same time. He still kicks my ass sometimes. I mean, we played the Russian team championships. We play those Blitz and Rapids. And I think he beat me in the last like 4 or 5 games. Whenever I play Blitz with him. Gets me really, really going. But it's all cool. I know we're pretty friendly. You know, we're on good terms. So that's all cool. Fischer can never be the GOAT. The GOAT, I keep forgetting, the GOAT is the... what is the GOAT? No, I'm not the GOAT. What is the GOAT, my god? What is that transcription? The greatest... something of all time, yeah? Oh, yeah, greatest of all time. Nah. No, definitely no. The greatest of all time is usually the term that applies to the champions, the number ones. To the best of the best the mankind has to offer. I'm not the... I'm number 2, right? Number 2, maybe number 3 at some point. But unfortunately not number 1. So I cannot claim myself to be this greatest ever. But I'm still a legend in my own way. Right? You cannot take that away from me. I played all the legendary world champions, Tal, Smyslov. I got the time of the greats. I'm very happy that life gave me such an opportunity to actually experience what it's like to meet those guys over the board. And those legendary mythical players, you know, gave me a lot. I was very lucky to play a lot of games against both Gary and Karpov. And again, people of today don't quite understand what was it like. And I tell you, when you play a guy of that caliber, it's like, it's huge. Can't even tell you what it's like. It's even bigger than playing Magnus. Yeah, because Magnus like modern day and age kid. Well, I still look at him like he's a kid. I mean, he is already almost like 30. Yeah, he's a young man for sure. But I remember him when he was a kid. So that's how I see him. And you know, definitely those first impressions, they matter, I guess, right? You win Kasparov at 18 years old, if I don't remember wrong. I beat him in 92 in Dortmund. I was I 18? Wait a minute, my math is bad. 74, 92. I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Okay, so check, push the pawns, pawn the queen, right? So tell us about your game against Tal. Only one win, but you know, do you know how many GMs and strong GMs never have won a single game against Kasparov and have a huge minus score? It's like, the number is unbelievable. I mean, there are a lot of players that haven't beat Gary a single game in their entire life. Laser, you had some flamboyant glasses back then. Yes, I had LASIK surgery, which is why I took off glasses. I was pretty happy about that day in my life. But that LASIK held up only for so long. Beat both Ks. Okay, so we go into this stuff now. Knight of 3, maybe. There's some tricks in this line. Like queen a4 check, for example. It's very tricky. This is a tricky move, dude. And boom, you grab the bishop. Okay. Well, you know, you gotta watch out for that stuff, right? So those tricky queen checks, they can ruin your day. Okay, who's stronger, Karpov, Kasparov? Depends on the time and depends on the era. Before Gary came, definitely it was the era of Karpov. When the Gary came, it was about equal. But when Karpov couldn't beat Gary consistently, that was definitely undisputable Gary's time. So hopefully that answers your question. But of course, Anatoly still tried. He was an undisputable number 2, and he tried very hard to retake his number 1 spot. But yeah, I would say Gary was still number 1. Number 1. Last summer, do you think Anand rates amongst the GOATs? Of course he does. I mean, come on, guy. Anand, he is a world champion, I think, in all formats. He was a world champion in knockout, he was a world champion in round robin, and he beat Kramnik fair and square. So Anand is, of course, one of the all-time greats. Of course, huge talent. You can never take this away from him, and you shouldn't. I don't know, 95 maybe, yeah? I just really don't want to exchange this bishop. So this is Caro-Kann. You guys remember, of course, my game against Yasser Serevan, which was like incredible piece of prep with the piece sack, which was really poisoned. It was in his best game collection. I'm pretty sure he had a lot of great games in '93. I believe, yeah, he had a lot of great games against me. I mean, the guy was older. He had huge support from his family. He never was afraid to lose, unlike me. And I would say that, you know, the guy, and of course he had huge talent. Huge talent. Right, he was one of the most difficult opponents for me. Yeah. And for others as well. I mean, obviously. So this position already probably winning for white. Because superior structure and just this weak pawn on f7. It's really bad. What? Your main weakness when you were in the top 3. My main weakness. My main weakness. Wow. You're trying to get me all the way back down the memory line. Oh, nice trick. I cannot play knight d6, c5 because queen takes. Nice. Alright, so let's play bishop e3 now. So the trip down the memory line. What is my main weakness? Of course I had weakness, that's for sure, but what was it concretely? Well, against Karpov I lost because he had a vastly superior opening prep. So that's for sure. Who else could beat me besides Gary? So that was only Anand. Right, again, but he beat me in the 95 rematch only because he had 3 months to prepare for me. I had only 2 weeks, and that was the critical factor. So that was a huge factor which allowed him to beat me because I could not, during the match, I couldn't find the way to beat his opening Spanish, open Spanish line. There's a little trick here you cannot take because of queen d8 mate. And apart from those guys, I don't think anybody could really beat me. So my opening prep was pretty damn good, except these 3 guys. These 3 guys had better prep than me, and I didn't fear anybody then. Yeah. If you knew you wouldn't have it, okay. If you knew you wouldn't have it. So it was Zinzi, right? It was Zinzi during the matches. Also, Shabalov, Zinzi were the first. They were the key. And of course, there was this whole story with my dad and Shabalov. Everybody knows it, right? So I'm not going to talk about it. And so slowly my dad slowly started to, get very suspicious. Started to blame them for my losses. And things went really downhill from there. The match situation, the atmosphere in the team was not that great, and that was the problem. Yeah, because I was not really at the helm of the ship called Gata the Candidate. No, I was just a participant. And let me tell you, this really sucks when you're not in control of your own life, destiny. Basically, you're just being told what you gotta do, and you gotta do it. I felt like a freaking slave. And that was bad. None of these guys were in a similar situation. So I was always kind of jealous, of these guys having the freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want. And actually that sort of impacted my chess. I didn't really start to study chess really, studying it. Until I, was 18 and went into that Bill Interzonal tournament. And after that, I sort of told my father that he really wanted me to become world champion, then he should really help me. That means by hiring a coach or hiring a bunch of coaches. Bad move, f4. Dude, you're missing tactics, you should have played f4. Because I cannot play e5. Now black is just much better. Right. And that was the critical moment, because once I had those coaches, you know, chess just boom, progressed at a very rapid pace. Your face is hiding a bit the board. My face is hiding a bit the boards. Let me see. You're right. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. Anything that improves my channel is good stuff. And g5, positional. Do you remember your martial attack against Ivanchuk? I think it was the Linares 91. If you want to talk about my martial attack, which I absolutely loved, you should check out my first game in the match against Anand in 94. That was absolutely amazing game. It was the brutal draw. I really recommend you guys to check this game over, just to see what kind of the calculating monsters we both were when we were in the top form. I remember that after the game, like, we looked at each other and we're like, what was that? What was this game all about? Yeah. So check it out, you know, since you're doing here. If you haven't seen it, do it right now. The post-mortem, yeah. Usually I don't like doing the post-mortem, because now you get the comp. At that time you didn't have strong comps, so sometimes it makes sense to talk to your opponent, but really don't see much benefit, because they get to know you, they get to know your thought processes, and that's sort of thing that grandmasters like to avoid these days. So because you can just go home to your computer, which is an ultimate authority, right? Ultimate. And okay, so check that out, check that game, and let me know how you feel about it, because I thought it was one grand just epic fight is not the word. Well, now all super gems are like, I don't know. Yeah, that's true, because you can never know until you analyze with your engine. Thank you for all this material, man. I feel like a millionaire now, grabbing all this stuff. Not the against Ivanchuk, against Anand. First game of the 94 match in India that I won on tiebreak. Check it out. I actually wanted to include that game into my best games collection, but I didn't, because I already had 2 games from that match included in my first book. So that's a shameless advertising for my book. Absolutely shameless, I admit it. But I put a lot of effort into that book, and you know, I think I did a good job. It does have a lot of lines, so it's not an easy read, but I do cover those games in depth. I give you my points of view. I try to recall what I was thinking during the game at the time. I also give some hidden advice on some opening lines. I thought that book is basically an educational instrument for a lot of things, and I hope people will find it helpful to their chess. Although it is very hard probably to read, but if you can manage it, you'll be rewarded. Okay. Yes, that's the game that... Not Ivanchuk. No, not Ivanchuk, guys. Come on. I'm talking about Anand game. What happened? Why did he bring Ivanchuk? No, Ivanchuk. Ivanchuk is a different game. It was not a bad game, but it was not as great as that game against Anand. The game against Anand was a draw, and it ended up being perpetual. Yeah, that's true. I mean, of course, I like Ivanchuk too. Yeah, he's an absolutely fantastic guy. He is absolutely fantastic. Unique. I've known him for many years now. So I know what I'm talking about, and he is a really cool dude. So he didn't go to the VCC because he went to checkers. Well, he went to checkers already really late in life. So I think it's really a shame. I mean, he's a perfect example of somebody who should have, who deserved a shot at the World Championship title, but he never did. Something always stopped him. It was very unfortunate, but sometimes that's how cruel chess is. You know, you have people like Ivanchuk, and he never played a match for the World Championship title. Okay, that is really sad. You know, a lot of people all agreed, all my colleagues, including Gelfand, you know, Anand, they all agreed that Vasily deserved that chance, but and it was a consensus that his nervous system was at fault, because checkers interesting since perfect play has been figured out. That 94 was his favorite game of all time a few years ago. Well, he said it a long time ago, actually. I'm sure he changed his opinion since that time. But you know, when he was younger, he spoke about it when he was younger, because I told him about this game. We had a small chat after the World Cup 2005, when he was just a kid, and I already saw that this guy had a huge potential. So we were at the airport, so we were just, you know, sitting there not doing much. So I spoke to him about chess, my views, and I'm pretty sure he remembers that stuff. And I told him like about my favorite games. He was very polite, listening, you know, not talking much. He was just a kid then. So let's do some Alekhine. So I believe he really did, and took a look at that game, and then he realized that Anand was a great dude, and I like that. He actually worked a lot with Anand. You know, I think before he worked with Gary, he worked a lot with Anand, and that is where he got all those positional great understanding and technical skills, because Anand is the greatest technician you can find. I mean, his dynamic sense is of course excellent, but he specializes in those technical positions. But of course, he's a universal player. You gotta be if you're the top. And I mean, Carlsen mentioned it many times, I think, in his interviews, that Anand was great friend. He worked with him, and he credited him with a lot of work and improving his chess. Right, how would you compare Karpov to Anand? You can't compare these two. I mean, it's kind of silly a bit to compare these guys. It's like you compare Muhammad Ali with some modern boxer, right? I mean, they're contemporaries. They played not quite, but I think there was how many years there's a difference between them? I think is it 10 or 15? And Joel was the very talented guy. He was a very talented guy. He actually spoke Russian, I believe, and I think his mother was Japanese. Yeah, it was like this absolutely incredible mix. Incredible mix, and he was super talented. He had some top trainers in France at the time, I think. And I can say the same thing about Piquet. I don't know if you guys remember who Piquet is, but he was among the best Dutch players before he quit chess. Jeroen Piquet. What's the name of your book? I'd like to check it out. My book is it's Thinkers Publishing. All right, I'm gonna show it to you. Can you bring? I'm asking my wife to bring the copy of it. The publisher gave me a free copy. So this is volume 1. Can you see it? This is volume 1. And there is also volume 2. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, Piquet was like incredible player. Huge hope for the Dutch chess. But then he quit. Yeah. I got free copy. Do I have permission to throw up an Amazon link to your book? Go ahead. I'll be happy. Thank you very much. It's just, this book has a lot of stories. So if you guys really interested in my life stories, you know where to look for now. Another shameless advertising, but there you go. A lot of games deeply analyzed, and as I said, I try to do my good job because it's the only book that I will ever write. The publisher now asked me to do the 3rd volume, like me old, like 20 years later, like D'Artagnan in Dumas' book, right? The Three Musketeers, like the young, and then like 10 years later, and then the 20 years later book, right? So I feel like I'm gonna do this stuff 20 years later. Gata playing chess. I'm not sure somebody is gonna be interested in this kind of book, but publisher said do it. I said okay, fine, I'll do it. No Kindle version, I have no idea. Piquet went to work for Van Ostrom. Yeah, I know that. Organized the Melody Amber tournaments. Those were fantastic tournaments. And it was really sad that she grew up so fast, yeah? Because Melody is Amber is the name of his Van Ostrom's daughter. And once she grew up, she was no longer interested in chess, and so decided to scrap the tournament. And it was a great pity because those tournaments, they made Grandmaster's livelihood very enjoyable, and the tournaments themselves were organized at the best level you can possibly get. Basically, a lot of great things about these tournaments. Best conditions, best everything, and top level GMs playing chess. I mean, what else do you want, right? So, rook on d8 is doing nothing, so I gotta protect this pawn on e5, and I'm preparing knight h5. That is the reason why I play it in the first place, because that bishop on g3 was the defender. At least you came back that you quit chess. No, I was very happy that I quit chess. It was a really important thing for me because I was so tired of having that huge control and in my life, and finally I could go to college, get some free time. That was hugely important to me. Huge time, at least those 4 or 5 hours that I can have for my own time. Knight of 6. What is knight of 6? Oh, I'm a dumb idiot. Okay, I should have played d4, of course. My god. Knight of 6 is just, I haven't seen this thing in a long time. I was very surprised with knight of 6. Good job, man. You managed to surprise me. Yeah, you heard the story. I know. Sorry. Okay. Do you like playing in India? Yes, I actually do. I actually like playing in India. I played in India in there was this tournament. I think that was before Sanki Nagar match. There were tournaments in New Delhi, and that was actually an interesting story in that tournament. There were 3 Polgar sisters playing in that tournament. They managed to get all 3 of them playing. I don't know how they did that, but they did. And I played all 3 of them with black color. Oh my god. So first round I played, I think I played Judith in the first round. I was really lucky to play her in the first round because she was a monster at the time. She was like really badass player, and I was really lucky to play her in the first round because she was not in the top form yet. So I managed to beat her. It was some kind of Spanish something. I don't remember what it was. So the second Polgar sister I play with black, that's Sofia. But she is significantly weaker than the other two sisters. And but at the time, in the '89, she won a huge open tournament in Italy, and everybody is saying like, "Wow, Sofia can play chess," and it was a huge thing. So they consider that Sofia will become really strong, but she married some kid and she stopped playing chess and moved to Israel, I believe. And that was the end of her career in chess. That was, yeah. So the third Polgar sister, I beat two Polgar sisters. Oh, no, I didn't beat all of them. Yeah, that I was very close because in the last round, I'm sharing the first place with Anand and somebody else, I think. So I play Susan in the last round, and I can see that she is really, really nervous. Oh my god, that was so funny. She was really afraid of losing because that would be, all three of them losing with white to me. Check that tournament out. It was in New Delhi. I played all of them with black, and at the end I shared first place with Anand, and there was some other guy from India, I believe. And in that tournament, the old Indian guard played. When I say old Indian guard, I mean like guys like Tipsey, I think Barua, and all those guys. Oh. Ooh. Really bad timing for me to do that pre-move thing. Great videos, Korchnoi getting mad of losing to Sofia. I don't know. Zhuzha, yes, she was called Zhuzha, right. Yeah, but this kind of not really. The bishop on g2 is definitely not in the right place. That angered the Korchnoi. It's quite possible. It is possible. I don't know. I was really lucky that I played Korchnoi a couple of games, but I think it's just my personal opinion, because we shared the coach. My childhood coach was Vladimir Grigorьevich Zak, who was his trainer, Korchnoi's trainer. Because Korchnoi also was from St. Petersburg. So I felt that the way he viewed me was like this kid, who shared his trainer, and I think he was actually very nice to me. So I never heard from him those crazy stories that everybody knows about Korchnoi. And even once when I beat him, when he got really old, and he played on the same team with Karpov. That was another coup. Yeah, he played on the same team with Karpov when he got much older, and I don't know how they managed to do that, but he did, and that's when I beat where I defeated him in my only tournament game, but he was already very old, and after the game he just, sort of leaned back, and then he said, "Okay, you win the game. I didn't see this move." And I was shocked. I was expecting him to really be upset, but he was really nice. Really, really nice to me. So, yeah. So I think that upbringing, probably that we had the same coach, probably played a part. People get sentimental, right, all the time. And so I never seen bad Korchnoi. It's crazy that Korchnoi beat Caruana. When did that happen? I didn't. Must have been when Caruana was like really young, yeah. I don't know. No idea. When was that? For like 2012. Okay, but 2012 Caruana was just a kid, yeah. It was just a kid. Although, not exactly a kid anymore, because I played Caruana first time over the board game. It was in Reggio Emilia. Another famous bunch of tournaments, traditional tournaments, which were cancelled later. And that was 2009. I shared the first place with Zoltan Almashi. Hungarian player, same generation as me. Because I beat, he was leading the tournament with 1 point ahead of me. So I had to beat him. It was a very nice game. It was Archangel Spanish. You guys want to take a look at that game? I tell you, it's very nice. I think I analyzed this game also in my book. So this win allowed me to catch him and actually take over the first place on tie breaks. And in the same tournament, I played Corana, who's black. And I just couldn't beat him. I was like so mad because I had an advantage in the end game. But he was so accurate, so solid, and he was just defending so tenaciously. I was like, oh my god, I cannot beat this kid. I was upset. And then I never actually beat him in a classical game in chess. I lost a bunch of games to him. And I never beat him. Then I realized this kid is probably gonna be like world championship contender. And I was right. Okay, sometimes it's nice feeling. Yeah, you gotta watch all those young kids grow up and beat the crap out of you. Have you played Talat Shaked? No. He was considered to be a star of the American chess when he was young. That I know. But I think he quit chess at some point. Don't know for sure when that happened, but I think he quit chess to pursue studies or something. A lot of players in the US, youngsters, they did that because you just can't survive professionally on chess if you're not top one. At the time, there were no Sinkfields. There were no US championships. There was no consistent source of income. You had to make all the income from taking prizes in the tournaments. So that's why chess was really suffering in the US. Got your books on forward chess. What was the most frustrating game you played? Frustrating game. Well, okay, if you mean tough losses, then of course losses against Topalov, they will be right at the top of the list. Right, especially that very painful 7th game of the match, where in one move, I'm in time trouble, so I have to make like 3 moves. But he set up a very nasty tactical trap. I couldn't figure out what was the trap, but I felt the trap, yeah. I just couldn't see it. I had like 2 minutes on the clock to make 3 moves. And I see that I can play either push the pawn or hit his queen with the rook. And I couldn't figure out which sequence was correct. And the sequence that I picked was bad because I blundered the trick. I mean, Topalov was always a very tricky dude. And then he played this trick and I realized, oh my god, and I'm no longer winning. And in fact, I have to start playing for a draw. And I couldn't see the draw because it was already 1 minute. And so there was a critical line. I saw that there is this line where I have to sacrifice the queen, where I can probably, save the game, but I had to sack the queen. And sacrificing the queen is something, right? So I was scared, and I decided to play a safer move, which turned out to be losing because I missed tactic. So in one move, I went from winning to draw, and in the second move, I went from draw to losing. And that was painful because even if I drew the last game, even if I drew that game, right, I would still have a chance to, 94, e takes f4. I blundered this, okay. So I would still have a chance to beat him with white in the 8th round game, but because I lost the 7th round game, yeah, that was the most painful game, along with Boris Gelfand's, of course, game. Boris Gelfand game was the game where I lost the 4th rapid tiebreaker. That was also pretty bloody painful because I was leading with 1 point. I had to make a draw with white, and I did not manage to do that. So those were the painful moments, yes. And I'm blundering knight f1. Dude, you could have played knight f1 and my queen, I have to sack the exchange. Yeah, you guys see, you should not trust me because I'm blundering stuff, right? So you should not trust me for sure. Check, verify. What? Shake it, quit chess after Gary beat him into oblivion in Tilburg. What was that tournament in Tilburg? Really? I didn't know that. What is this? Thank you for playing game against, let's see, against me. Dude, you're welcome. You are welcome. Tilburg. Are you sure that Shake It played in Tilburg? Was it Tilburg? It was definitely not the round robin tournament because after the second round robin tournament that I played in Tilburg in 1990, I won the event in I won the event in 1990, and then the second one involved Kasparov and Karpov. It was in 91, where I beat Karpov by a half point, so I got 1.5 points out of 2, and with Gary I had 2 draws, and I felt it was a success. You know, make 2 draws against Gary. One of those games I actually analyzed in my book, and I felt that was a successful tournament for me. I didn't take the first place, but overall I felt it was a good tournament. But after that, the organizers of Tilburg, they created the knockout format for this event because they were lacking money, finances, I guess. So they had to do the knockout version. And of course the knockout version, knight b4 wins the tempo maybe. Bring this knight to d5. What? How do I play match? You just challenged me on LiChess. So Sheikh scored 1.5 out of 11 in that tournament. Tilburg 97. Okay, I didn't know about Tilburg 97. It was just I mean, last time I played was probably 92, 93. In 92 there was this knockout format again, but that's about it. I didn't play this tournament, didn't pay attention because it became really small, and then it disappeared completely, which was a pity because those tournaments, they were the thing. They drove us in the top cars to the from the forest bungalows where we lived to the event in the center of the city. Huge camera televisions, you know, television shows with the games being translated. Also live game transmission, right? It was also top notch. Yeah, those were like the grand old days. Yeah, you guys probably don't. Yeah, it's like modern day super tournaments. What is your opinion on Alexander Grishuk? Alexander Grishuk. What do you want to know? Alexander. The huge talent of Russia. He was considered by Kasparov to be one of the greatest talents, potential world championship candidate. But just like Ivanchuk, he didn't quite made it. I mean, see, you know, a lot of great talents, absolutely fantastic players, they never made it to the candidates. I mean, to the World Championship match candidate. That's what I'm talking about. The candidates tournament is completely different, yeah? But the candidate for the world title, to be the challenger, that's the critical part. Because even if you become a challenger, you automatically become number 2 in the world. You sort of get your name forever etched in the annals of chess history. Rajabov. Never even played the candidates. Well, Rajabov was a huge talent, yeah. He was considered to be the next Gary. In fact, Gary lost to him in the very last game. In the very last tournament game he played in Linares, right? We all know that story. So, the easiest thing here to do would be to play check and play a3 here. If king h2, then a3. And then, yeah, we don't give up the queen. Do you practice law for a while? I couldn't practice law at all because I had no license. I didn't pass the bar. I didn't even study for the bar, to be honest, because I had sunburn right on the graduation date, and then I wanted to play chess. I wanted to try to test how would I play chess after such a long absence from it. And if you remember, chess was still separated, the Kasparov Association, the FIDE Association. At the time when I returned to chess, they were still separated. It was way later when Kramnik beat Topalov, I think, or he beat somebody, or Anand beat Kramnik. He united those titles into one, right? So at that point, it was the great unknown. It's like wild, wild west of chess, and I felt that if I, play the championship cycle, voice my views, let my new sort of experience outside of chess. I wanted to test it all, and that's why I returned to chess. And and you saw what happened, right? You saw how it all played out. Are you going to teach your son chess? No, definitely no. Definitely no. And besides, I'm really bad with kids. I have a lot of my father in me. You guys saw it, right? When I get angry, I lose control. And that's not a thing that I want to see. So, no sir. Okay, let's kick this bishop out. Training Hikaru. I never trained Hikaru. Who said I started training Hikaru? My god, guys. Training Hikaru. This is the first ever I hear about this. Magnus got angry today. Why did he get angry? Please, if you say something, continue talking, because interested people would like to know. I probably am at the age where some kind of chess gossip is, I consider it pretty healthy. So, for what level player does your recent books from Thinking Publisher cater for? It caters for different player level, but honestly, it is more for advanced player. Although I hope that some of the opening lines I recommend, some structures that I cover in my book, I hope those will be applicable to a wider range of readers. And but yes, the book is overall meant for the advanced player. Yeah, we're all about the same age, give or take a year or two, and we are absolutely blessed that the guys like Anand, Ivanchuk, they're not that much older. They're only like 6 years older than us, right? So that was absolutely great for chess and for our development, because we get a chance to play with these great players, right? And having played these great players, we were able to improve our own game, okay? So I really consider this entire generation of people, starting with Anand, Ivanchuk, Gelfand, right, Serper, who does a lot of articles on chess.com, right? Absolutely fantastic articles, to be honest. And he too came from that age. He was considered to be one of the most talented juniors in Russia, along with Ivanchuk and Gelfand. And of course, you forgot Shirov. He is closer to Kramnik and me than to Ivanchuk. Because I think he's 72. And so this whole generation of players, it was just incredible, right? It got to be that one of these guys was going to become world champion. So Anand was 1, Kramnik is 2, right? And then you have the rest of Topalov is 3, right? And so yeah, so these guys, they came, they basically were fighting, playing each other, growing. Yeah, Ivanchuk, we talked about this guy. All right. Well, you're probably an older dude like me, yeah. You know, it seems to me, I'll just be honest, it seems to be that the older guys, they sort of have this tendency to talk about the old times, like how were they better in the past than the current things are, right? I feel guilty of the same thing, by the way, so it's not meant to be a criticism. The thing I want to talk about, there is this movie, very cool movie, cartoon movie. It's called The Incredibles. So there's this scene at the end of the movie, and the guys goes like, there's like two elderly guys talking to each other, and they say, "That's how it's done, the good old school." The old school way. And I guess we're talking probably the same thing here. Probably the same thing. Knight h5. Okay, but let's play f5 because you obviously cannot play g4 anymore, right? I'll just take g4, and then I want to play f4, and that pawn on h4 will become a target. Gregory Serper, yes. Gregory Serper, Grisha. Almost like, remember another, I'm sorry about my constant movie references, but I absolutely love James Bond movies. Absolutely loved them. And there was this very famous movie, James Bond, I don't remember what it's called. And basically, Sean Connery, I think he was playing James Bond at the time. He is he's somewhere in Eastern Europe, and he goes into the circus, and he has to fight these Russian brothers, right? And these guys were called Grisha and Misha, yeah. Sometimes I'm like really laughing hard about the version. Svidler is younger. No, he's only 1 year younger than me. So he is also same category. That's why he's so strong, right? He is a twice World Cup winner. So he is the same generation as us again. So it was huge generation for chess. We can't say that there were different schools. Some of those kids, they went to Botvinnik school. I think I went to Petrosian school. Unfortunately, Petrosian died before I could meet him. He was one of my greatest idols, and I really would love to meet this guy, you know, but unfortunately, you know, he passed away before I could meet him. But his school was led by Garry Kasparov's coach. Yeah, Morozevich, of course. Alexander Nikitin. And Nikitin was, of course, Kasparov's coach. So it was like c5. Ooh. c5. What did I do on c5? I have no idea. Alright, I'm just gonna grab this pawn. I have no idea what to play here. Maybe e4 to go into some sort of the French, I guess. Yeah, Tigran Petrosian school. So there were a lot of schools, all based on the world champions. And as a kid, I went to that one. But I went there only once. I went there only once. I thought it was pretty cool, you know. Basically, we studied chess there for a number of days. He gave us the homework to analyze lines, and that's when I felt that, you know, analyzing those lines were actually more for the benefit of the grandmasters, not for our own benefit, not like to train your positional understanding or calculation skills. So they gave us a lot of openings, and one of the opening lines, I actually remember what Nikitin gave us. He gave us this line from the famous Kasparov game where he beat Karpov, right, with his pawn sack in Sicilian. And Alexander Nikitin asked us like to analyze some more of this stuff. Obviously he had already lines, but He was just probably checking them. And it was exactly maybe a couple of months before some IM came up with a complete refutation of his gambit. And once that refutation became known, Karpov was like really angry at his team of GMs because, you know, this is an IM. He found a very simple refutation of the gambit, and these GMs couldn't. Right? So I remember that there was like huge, like sort of thing about it. Petrosian game so hard for you to understand because he practiced the great style of prophylaxis. I mean, if you find Petrosian games hard to understand, then you're probably not the greatest fan of Aikido, because that's the closest that comes to my mind. I mean, if you are into martial arts or something like that, that would be the closest that my guess is, right? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a martial arts specialist, but I love those Hong Kong movies from the 80s and 70s, yeah? So, the Drunken Master, right? Jackie Chan. The unorthodox training technique. Leko was also from our age group, right? So I consider him as part of that group. Okay. I really would like to exchange this bishop. Black shouldn't, but yeah, he is correct. He is correct. So I need to find a way to. Okay, let's exchange one of these guys because I need to open my bishop. I need to hit this pawn on d5. That means I need to open my bishop. Grab this. Oh, you just blundered. You should not have played this. You should have played knight e5 and go for this knight d3 thing. That's what you should have done. Because you spent two tempos, gave me the central pawn, and now just winning, technical win. Bloodsport, that's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Also another great movie. It set the whole bunch of those movies, right? No, but Bloodsport, okay, but there's another very similar movie with the Tongpo guy. What is it called? You know, that super mega dangerous, yeah, I think it was Kickboxer, yeah? Where his brother sort of gets injured and Jean-Claude is like getting his revenge on this guy, yeah? Yeah, that was the, yeah, of course, Dubov and Artemiev, very promising young stars. And in the West we have Van Forest Jordan, yeah. We also have Tari, but Tari is not playing as much, I guess, so that's his problem. A lot of Indian kids, but right now Firouzja is undisputable #1. Sci-fi, I love sci-fi. Star Trek, Next Generation, I grew up on those. Forever Night we talked about earlier today, yeah. A Canadian show about vampires. I love vampires. I mean, there's something like about those monsters, yeah. And those the reason I like those because there was this kid movie that I really liked when I came to the US. It was called like this some squad. So there's a bunch of kids. They fighting Dracula, some other monster, and then there's this little girl that befriends Frankenstein, who turns on Dracula, right? So this like monster. Oh, that was called Monster Squad, right? That was a kid movie. It was absolutely cool. And the second movie that really did it for me, you know, to turn to that genre, was the Lost Boys. The Lost Boys. Oh my God, I absolutely love the Lost Boys movie. In fact, there's like a cult movie, cult following, right, with those kids, the brothers. Later it became. Yeah, but the Lost Boys. What's Anand legacy on chess? Ask Anand. He's a very communicable dude these days. You can approach him, ask him. You know, that's all. Sometimes all it takes. You know, just ask the guy. He is, yeah, Yankee for Sutherland, right? I really love that actor. Kiefer Sutherland. I also liked him in his movies Flatliners, which was another cult classic, I think, right? I don't know. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just giving you my opinions. And yeah, but The Lost Boys, that was like classic 80s, yeah. Gary versus Fisher. Who is stronger? It's not about who is stronger. You want to know who's gonna win, right? And that involves a lot of factors. Can I grab this pawn? Am I blundering stuff? Probably can, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll grab the pawn. I am your favorite pawn grabber. I'm your favorite pawn grabber. You can trust your pawns to me. I'll keep them. Okay? You can trust your pawns to me. Oh, nice. I like this move. This is a nice move. Preventing my castling. Smart. This is a smart guy. Okay. Run. Horror movies. I was a huge fan of Chuck Norris. And it was a really rare movie of his, where it was, I think, only one of his horror movies that he made. It was Silent Rage, right? That was, I love that movie. Silent Rage by Chuck Norris. He's fighting this unkillable dude, Psycho, right? Yeah, those were classics, but those action. And because I like sort of a little thriller horror stuff, starting with the Michael Jacksons, of course, classics. But I thought that was the only movie by Chuck Norris where he starred in that horror style movie. So Silent Rage, I really recommend. It's like such a great 80s flick. That was fun. Enter the Dragon is a classic, man. I mean, you don't even have to mention this, right? We all love Bruce Lee. We absolutely love Bruce Lee. Without Bruce Lee, today's all this kung fu genre would not be the same. I mean, David Carradine was his contemporary, right? But it's not exactly the same. They were just different. Although I'm pretty sure Bruce was studying why David Carradine was really popular, yeah, and what made him very popular. So he probably took some lessons from that. I never watched that Green Hornet show though, and sometimes I kick myself for that. I thought Way of the Dragon with Norris. Yeah, I mean that is a classic. Way of the Dragon with Chuck Norris. That, guys, that is a must-see movie. That is a must-see movie classic. You gotta watch it, of course. Kind of look like David Carradine. Well, David Carradine played his best ever role in that Tarantino flick, right? I thought that was his best role. Surprisingly. What am I doing? Just play King T4. This is winning. Then you play F3 and you win. I mean E3. You can even grab my pawn. Yeah, it's Kill Bill. I think it's his greatest role ever. Although I saw I think one of the last movies that Carradine starred in, it was a very short role. It was the Chinese movie, and is absolutely great fighting scenes there. So this Chinese guy, his father kills the competitor in a battle, I think, and then because he sees that his competitor's son now is all alone, so he takes him as the ward. So this son grows up with this guy family, and there are sister and so there are 3 kids overall. And then this guy is he's developing this 5 Venom style, and the good guy is developing the drunken style, right? Big Trouble in Little China, of course, that's a classic. Yes, it's one of my favorite. No, it's not cheating. Action movies. So, guys, I absolutely love the topic. Thank you for steering the conversation to movies. T2 and T1, yeah, they were much better than all the rest of the movies that came later. I gotta agree with that. That is correct. Although Linda tries very best in her latest movie, yeah, Hamilton. I kind of like her, but yeah, sometimes you can't carry a movie all by yourself. Battle Royale. Battle Royale, I haven't seen. I have seen a lot of his movies. Probably haven't seen Battle Royale. But I was talking about David Carradine and his last role in that Chinese movie. I don't know what it's called, but it's a great movie. You guys should definitely take a look at it. It's great action. They fight Venom style, like evil dudes. Next opponent first in the lists. Alright, so I'm gonna play a couple more games. And there's a dude named Chess Base. You name yourself after Chess Base program. Yeah, she is. I mean, she looks damn cool. Alright. How are we gonna proceed here? I don't know. I don't want to give you this pawn. So let's play a6. Would you have stayed in the US? Yeah, for sure. For sure I would have stayed in the US. For sure. But our home is where our loved ones are, right? So I had to go. I had to go. And I don't regret my decision for a second. I think moving to Russia was a very solid choice on my part. Being with my wife. So I am sticking with this decision. Wow, White is outplaying me here. He is outplaying me. My God. I feel like I'm gonna lose this game. True Legends. Yeah, I think something like that. Yes, I'm in Russia now. I'm in the Saint Svidlersburg. Yes. Yes, this is my channel. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Yeah. So I'm living in Saint Svidlersburg. I borrowed this phrase from some wild guy. I absolutely love this name. So if you're here, you should know that I love your name. I love this name for the St. Petersburg city. To support the channel, it's all up to you. It's not required. It's all up to you. You know, guys, I'm here not to, make money. I'm here to, have some fun, play some games, share some stories. Basically, just have a good time. You don't have to give me a cent if you don't want to. It's complicated. It's complicated because we don't know for sure. Nobody wants to say for sure who is doing what or who is telling the truth. Same thing here in Russia, right? I don't know. Okay, when you're alone time, you start blundering stuff. Be very careful with that. How much for 1 hour? I think you're on the wrong channel. Las Vegas is that way. Yeah? Oh, training. I'm sorry, I just had to mess with you. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Botman. Alright. But Las Vegas is fun, yeah? By the way, if anybody has gone to Las Vegas after this whole coronavirus thing? Can you guys tell us what's like things in Vegas? I mean, have things changed? I know it's probably not the right topic, but give me a break. Yeah, we all love Vegas. So how is Vegas these days? Come on, dude. I played the National Open. That's not funny. No more Sin City. Yeah, too bad. That was a fun city. I like it. Much more than any other city. I don't like it. Sorry about that, man. But I understand. I understand. I obviously I visited Vegas as a tourist. I loved it as a tourist, and I played the National Open, and that was the fantastic event, always. And I don't know if they're gonna run it, or if they ran it in the previous years. Too many smokers. Yeah, I mean, I didn't go there for fun. I never went there for fun. Never went there to gamble. I only went to play in the National Open tournaments. And thanks to the organizers, I am thankful to them to this day. I thought they ran the tournament really well. I managed to win it a few times. The first time I went there was 1989. And I went there in 93. And I went there a couple of years more. So it was a nice event. Yeah, exactly, the tournaments. I mean, I'm not asking about your other experience like the old city. But when I went to the millionaire event, which was ran by Maurice, right? I couldn't afford staying in the main hotel, so I went and I found this cheap place in the old city. I kind of liked Old City, to be honest. You know, they had this great pedestrian walk where you have this huge, I don't know, what is the wall covering? I don't know how you call it. People like, you know, flying along those metal cables. I thought it was incredible. I actually like it more than the Vegas with all those Bellagios, etc. Yeah. Okay, good. But maybe some people not sure what I'm talking about. Okay, I hope you know you get it, but not sure. I know hotels in Vegas cheap, and I remember staying in one of those casinos for like 20. Well, those are the long gone days. I mean, maybe if you reserve it early. But when I played the Maurice Ashley tournament, it was probably hot season, so it was all very expensive. In the old city, maybe it is. It wasn't, but again, I don't know. But you know, those tournaments were fun. Those were fun tournaments. Check. And let's start attacking. What are we gonna do here? Ooh, pin. Always pin the dude. Is your father still with... he's in the US, that's for sure. He is in the US. Oh, I cannot play this. Ooh, okay. Rook d1, f5, I guess. Okay, bishop c4. Yes, he is in the US, but he wants to probably go back to Russia. I don't know. Although I think he lives perfect life there. Thanks to all that money that I made for him when I was young. He should be pretty happy with all that stuff. Okay. Alright. I'm sorry, my dad is a very touchy topic. I get really bad memories. Really angry. So... one of the topics that I don't really enjoy discussing the channel. Sorry about that. Okay, Millionaire Chess was a great event. I actually managed to play Hikaru there in a tiebreaker. And He just flagged me. But I was okay with it because I knew I'm gonna get flagged because there were no increments in the tie breaks. So I got flagged. I remember that at that time, you know, there were some people, including Naka, that, you know, sometimes you just make a move, bang on the clock, and it didn't matter whether you put the piece well, or you just sort of like let it fall. And I remember I was like trying to show him how it should be done, right? So on my time, I correct his piece. I say G-dup. You know, I'm not in a rush. Okay, this is not the most important game for me. So I hope that you know, taught him a little bit. You know, that sometimes, you know, playing the game is also about having class. So and these days Naka is like you know, he is grown. He's not a kid anymore. He is well behaved, well spoken, very. He's a gentleman. He's a cool dude. Being a good flagger requires focused practice. Are you serious? Is that a serious question, guys? My God, the questions I see in this channel. Yeah, Napa was very angry with Naka. I remember that. Was very angry. I think it was really an important tournament. It could have been even the World Rapid Championship. And Nepo like let it go. But he looked around. He was looking for the arbiter or something. I remember that. That was and Hikaru was like sitting there like nothing happened. Yeah, I remember. That was the story. Yeah, I don't remember exactly where it was, but there was this thing. World Cup, right? Yeah, I mean, you know, when you play Blitz a lot, sometimes it's just your habit. I understand that. So, but it was just so damn hilarious. Would you play Chess Bu on stream? I don't mind playing anybody anytime, but right now, you know, Eric beat me in the World Blitz Championship recently in Moscow last year's. He beat me in London, and I was blundering left and right. At one point, I could have taken his knight or rook or something. In the end, instead, I blunder a rook or knight. I don't even remember what I blundered, but that was a very tense game. And oh, bishop e5 then, right? Thank you for the square, for the nice square for the bishop. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's two different types of chess. But having blitz skills is important, especially with the modern time controls. They're getting shorter and shorter, right? So it is important. Because all the tie breaks, eventually, they all lead to the shorter time controls, and they lead to the sudden death. So you gotta play well those time controls. You gotta. Bishop c4, I don't know, e4. Let's open the position a little bit. f5 pawn is the only pawn that stands in a way between my rooks and black king. So we gotta take this pawn out. Hi guys, have you met Karpov recently? Sure. I think he was at this FIDE Rapid World Championship, Blitz Championship in Moscow. He didn't play it, but I think he was there.
I met him in China.
In China?
Yes, when we played this.
Oh, the couples event?
We played it with China.
Yeah, there was this couples event in China, but that was like in 2017, right? That was before. Yeah, that was 2017. That was a long time ago. But I think I saw him last year at the Blitz and Rapid Championship. So that's a more recent memory. And okay, so we say hi. Yeah, he's still in the Duma. He's being made fun of for all his role in those laws. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the last game because I need to get a break. Oh, okay, I need to make a move first, right? Magnus Invitational results. So there is this controversy with Nakamura. they can't let just you know, they don't. This is really a problem for them. I mean, Hikaru, he declined to play. I mean, it's a very nice gesture from him, but that leaves like sort of a unpleasant feeling on Magnus, I believe, because he knows that he won because of his opponent's distraction. So that's gonna bother him for sure. So a lot of psychology there. I don't know how they're gonna figure what to do with this, but it's a problem. Aside from that result, I think Dink played magnificent chess, so he fully deserved to win. He showed that kid, that wannabe kid, Alireza Firuza, that being candidate and long-time #2 player in the world and 2800 level player still counts for something. All right. Yeah, I heard that too, by the way. Yeah. But nobody is now going anywhere. Nobody going anywhere anytime soon. Corona is beyond borders, is beyond politics. It doesn't care who you are, how much you make, etc. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Yeah, it was pretty funny, I think. Okay, pair of bishops. I really like the structure for black because it opens the rook on h8 for black. So I'm gonna try to play h5 and, you know, nullify that advantage. Oh, this was a while back before the virus. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that he was going for some chess event maybe or something, and they blocked him because I have a feeling that Gary's hand is also there at some point. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that sometimes Gary has a strong influence on those State Department politics. Because after all, St. Louis is now a capital, chess capital of the US, right? It was actually officially stated so in the US Department of State. So, yeah, let's not grab this pawn on e6 because it kind of blocks his rook from killing my king. Do you think the lockdowns are the right strategy? I'm not the doctor, I don't know. I think the virus containment thing is a well-known strategy, right? Quarantine was a pretty standard form. If it is right or is it wrong, I have no idea. I think the results are overall working out. He didn't take e-pawn with check. Naka refused to play. That's what I heard. I don't know. Ask Naka. I'm not Naka. I am not Naka. Give me a break, guys. I'm Gata. Okay. So what's going on? This is the last game. I need a break, guys. I tried to faithfully cover the tournament. It was good enough for the first 2 rounds, but then that was it. I ran out of energy. Garamura. Oh my god, you guys are killing me. Should play the Bullet Arena? Nah, I'm fine. I already played there. I got my rating to 27. You see my rating? It's 2743 in Bullet. I'm absolutely happy with this rating. So that's it. There will be a Bullet Arena, which is titled, I think. Now that I might play. Yeah, with some prizes or something. I might play that one. I am not sure when it is. I think they advertise it on LiChess. Not sure when it is exactly, but it's been advertised and I will play there for sure. Do you really want me to take all your pawns? Alright, so this is it, guys. Thank you for joining me on the channel. If somebody rated me, forgive me. I'm doing the this our chat, restream chat, which doesn't show me everything, so I might miss your raid notifications. I need to work on those notifications. It's like big pain. I've been streaming like almost daily basis now, and I'm a bit tired, so I'll try to fix something. So if you rated me, if I didn't notice you, I apologize. I thank you for rating me. Again, thank you guys for your support. Wonderful stories, great comments. I hear you. I heard about you guys requesting some videos on YouTube for some openings, for some end games. YouTube video about the recommended books. I will try to do all that stuff, okay? Movies, we all love movies, absolutely. Toss the coin to The Witcher, right? Can't wait for that. Also Star Trek Picard second season, can't wait for that either. John Wick 4, all that stuff. And of course, highly recommend for you guys, if you missed that French chess movie with Gerard Depardieu being a coach. I think it's called Fahim. I highly recommend to watch that movie. It's just great stuff by French cinema. Okay. Stay healthy, stay safe, enjoy chess, and happy trails, partners.